Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, where we empower you in your now and lead the change you want to see in yourself and others. Without further ado, here to serve you, your host, Mr. Steve Robinson.
Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson, and as always, you already know it, I'm super duper grateful for you. Today is Monday, November 21st. I don't know when you will listen to this, when you will pick it up, but hey, today is the end of the Made Up Mind Challenge, where I decided that the power of a made-up mind would make a difference in my life, and I applied it to working out for 21 days straight. I went to the gym for some type of workout, whether it be in the gym, whether it be running trails, but 21 days, and I have completed it. I'm super grateful for that. I'm super excited about it. But what it does is it shows you that, if you put your mind to something and you make up your mind to do it and don't let anything get in the way, you can accomplish it. Now, do I look like Ulysses yet? No, not yet. I'm working on it. But what it did is it gave me that confidence that I needed to keep going. I'm going to keep going back and keep working out, learning some more about the health and learning some more about just wellness, health and wellness all the way around. And I'll keep you posted on that. You can follow me on Facebook, Steve Robinson, the speaker. You can follow me on Instagram, Steve Robinson, the speaker as well. And keep track with me. We'll talk about different things, but we'll try to keep you inspired. Just like the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, that's what it does. We help you lead the change from where you are to where you want to be. Lead Change Empowerment. Also, listen, go leave a review. I don't know, maybe, if you get time to leave a review, you have time. Leave the review. We need it. We need all the help we can get. Basically, it helps me with being noticed more in iTunes or on Spreaker. Hit a like. Do those things. And I'm talking about success. So success and reading about success, those 21 days. Really today, all I'm going to do is tell you about a lot of books, and how reading is the hidden success factor. Reading, how much do you read? Are you reading at all? I didn't used to like to read at all. Back in 2014 is when I really started trying it. I started out with just 10 pages. Like literally, I would read 10 pages of a book. And now, so as of today, since 2014, I've read 35 books since 2014. October is when I started. So from October of 14 to November right now, I've read 35 books. Now, if I finish this book, which I will, it's called Be Nice or Else. That's written by Wynn Claiborne. My daughter goes to school at Paul Mitchell Hair School here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So she had a book that she came home with, and it's called Be Nice or Else. When you start reading this book, you start to realize that some of you all are not nice. And you may think you're nice, but you really may not be nice. And you need to start being nice to yourself and those around you. So I'm halfway through that. I'll finish that. So that'll give me 36. And I'm thinking about this primal leadership, which is on emotional intelligence. I think I'm going to jump into that. I don't know if I can get it done before the end of the month, before the end of December. So that'll give me 37 books. But at this time, 35. So let me just give you, today I just want to give you some books that has helped change my life. And you should pick up one of them if you don't. So I'm going to give you my favorite books that I've been just reading that just made an impact to help me change my life. And that's why I say, like, the real hidden success factor is reading. Reading is the ultimate tool for success because it starts to give you information about other things. I mean, it opens up a whole new avenue that you had no idea about. So, real quick, I'm going to just run down some books that you need to add to your collection if you haven't. Also, if you have any suggestions for me, send it to me. info@steverobinsonthespeaker.com. That's info@steverobinsonthespeaker.com. So here we go. My first game changer is my dog, Grant Cardone, The 10X Rule. This book is amazing. When I tell you amazing, it is amazing. It tells you how to 10X what you're doing. Like, Grant doesn't believe in, the lack, you don't have enough, like you got bad spending habits. Grant says you don't have bad spending habits, you have bad income habits. If you get what you want, you got to increase your income. But it's a great book. It's called The 10X Rule. Another game-changing book is by Dr. Van Moody. It's called The People Factor. The People Factor is a great book by Dr. Van Moody. Another book is called Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. She said something in there, our actions are a direct result of our thoughts. And that is so true. I mean, that how you think is that your actions, what you're doing is how you think. So definitely get Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I got to get that pronunciation right. But The Road to Your Best Stuff by Mike Williams. It's called The Road to Your Best Stuff by Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a mentor or business strategist for Les Brown. So that book it's not even a long book. It's a real short book, really good. Carol Dweck's Mindset. You got to have that. It talks about how having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. That's a great book. And of course, most people already know As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. You got to have that. Now, because I'm a speaker, an empowerment speaker, and I grabbed a couple books on speaking. Speak and Grow Rich by Dottie and Lily Walters. That's a great book. If you're a speaker, I suggest you. And it gives you a lot of good tips I read this book over 2 years ago, and it really helps. Even though the book is older, it's the same information that applies today. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. You got to get that book. Think and Grow Rich. Now, Think and Grow Rich, there's the Napoleon Hill version, which is, that's who created it, Napoleon Hill. But there's a Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough with the blessings of Napoleon Hill. Now, Napoleon Hill, based off of his principles, the bestseller of, Think and Grow Rich. When Hill passed away, he left a manuscript aimed at specifically for Black Americans. So the Napoleon Hill Foundation chose Dr. Dennis Kimbrough to do that, to be able to basically finish that book. It's a great book. So you can get Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, and the regular Think and Grow Rich as well. They're both great books. Another book that I like by Dennis Kimbrough, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, is A Wealth Choice. And it's a real good book I think you should have as well. Let's start to get into the more, mind impactful type books as far as how you thinking, how you associate and talk with other people. There's a book called Crucial Conversations, Patterson, Granny McMillion, and Switzer. It's called Crucial Conversations. You got to get that. You got to have that book. This one. Oh, yeah, almost let this one slip. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Now, that book was given to me by a partner of mine, Reggie. Reggie gave me that. He sent me that book as a gift. And I had the book for a while. It just sit around on the shelf because it was just a little thin book. And I just didn't pay attention to it. But when it starts to talk about the power of your subconscious mind, it's amazing. Okay, think about it like this. You're listening, right? How many times have you told your heart to beat since you've been listening? How many times have you told your blood to flow? You don't do that. How many times have you told yourself to breathe? That's not your conscious mind doing it, right? Okay, so the power of the subconscious mind, really what you're putting into your mind and what goes into it and how you think and what comes out is very, 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 very important. So you got to get that. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph, what is his name again? Joseph Murphy. So you got to get that book. Another book that I suggest is Unqualified by Pastor Stephen Furtick. It's Acknowledging Your Weaknesses. That's a real good book. It's a real good book. It's called Unqualified by Pastor Stephen Furtick. You got to have that. Another book that's great is called Distractions, Why We Do What We Do, and that's by Terrence Schofield. All of these books that I'm naming, you can find them on Amazon, or you can go to the people's actual site. Live Your Dreams by Les Brown. Listen, that was the first book I ever received. My mother gave me that book back in 1994. I mean, that was she gave me a book, and I had never touched the book. I always took it everywhere I moved, everywhere I went to. The book just happened to just stay, not just so happened, it just stayed with me. I just kept it. So when I started getting into speaking and wanted to make it full-time profession, and I was following the Les Browns and the Zig Ziglars and the Jim Rohns. So I'm listening to all these motivational speakers and I'm going through all this stuff. So I'm like, the name Les Brown. So I look on my shelf and I see this Live Your Dreams book that I got back in 1994 and had never read it. So I've been listening to this man all over YouTube faithfully, and come to find out I had the book the whole time. And it's a great book as well. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchard. You got to have that book. The Measure of a Man is by Sidney Poitier, the actor. That's a real good book. A book called Bounce by Keith McFarland. You got to have that. Purpose Driven Life, Rick Warren. You got to have that. Who's Got Your Back? That's by Keith Ferrazzi. That's a real good book. Another book is called Now Discover Your Strengths. I'm going to put all of these books in the show notes. So if I'm going too fast and you don't get them, I'll put them in there. Another book is called Entre Leadership by Dave Ramsey. That's a real good book. And let me think of one more that was real good for me. It's a relationships book by Miles Monroe. If you're in a relationship, if you're about to get married, whatever it is, it's a book called On Relationships by Dr. Miles Monroe. You got to have it. Those are just a few of the books that I wanted to share with you today that you need to get to be able to get the hidden part of your success and make things change for your life. Listen, I'm telling you, start out with if you're not reading, start out just 10 pages, then move up to a half an hour. Set that time aside to just read, and you'll be amazed at what it does for you, all right? So, as always, prayer, patience, progress, in that order. Get ready to have a super duper Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm doing a Thanksgiving show as well. And we're probably going to go around my house and talk to everybody or bring them up to my studio and let them talk. My little studio is in the closet. But you'll see it. I think I'm going to televise it live. All right? So have a super rest of your week. Hey, take care.